In this video, we're going to work through a graphic organizer in order to synthesize, collect our notes that we've taken over the last couple of videos. The title of this graphic organizer is going to be the Quantum Mechanical Theory of the Atom. Quantum mechanical theory of the atom. So essentially what we're doing is we're taking that atom that we originally thought of as a solid sphere, and over the last couple of video notes we learned that there are different parts to the atom, and we're going to synthesize all that information on this sheet. So we learned that the inside of the atom is called the nucleus. And it turns out that there are two types of particles inside that inner part of the atom called the nucleus. And those two particles are protons and neutrons. So inside the nucleus, there are protons and neutrons. We would call these subatomic particles because they make up the inside of the atom within the atom. The nucleus contains protons and neutrons, and the outside of the atom we are calling the electron cloud. The electron cloud only has one type of particle in it. It has only electrons. So we've got the inside called the nucleus. Protons and neutrons are in there. And the electron cloud, we only have the electrons. Now, during the last couple of videos, we found out that the size of the nucleus is very, very small. What we're going to do is we're going to say that it is 0.0001 the diameter. As compared to the diameter of the whole atom, it only takes up 0.01% of the entire atom. It's extremely small. But the mass is extremely big. It takes up almost the entire mass of the atom. The way we're going to phrase this is hardly any space. It hardly takes up any space, but almost all the mass. Hardly any space. It's very, very tiny, but it takes up almost all the mass. Now, over here for the electron cloud, what we found out, 99.999 the diameter, which equals 99.99%. The size of the electron cloud is very, very large. However, its mass is very, very small. So here, hardly any mass. Hardly has any mass, but almost all the space. Hardly any mass, but almost all the space. We also found out that the nucleus is positively charged. And the electron cloud is negatively charged, and the force that holds the nucleus together is called the strong force, and the force that holds the electron cloud in its space is the electrostatic attraction. The negative attracted to the positive. We also found out that the protons, the way we find the number of protons, is simply equal to the atomic number. We look on the periodic table and we find the atomic number, and whatever its atomic number is, that's how many protons it has. So if we look at a periodic table, last time we looked at nitrogen, we found out nitrogen is number 7 on the periodic table. Its atomic number is 7. So that means every single atom of nitrogen has 7 protons. 7 protons that are in the nucleus. We also found out that the number of electrons is also equal to the atomic number. If I pull over the sheet that we looked at last time when we drew nitrogen and we found out that it was number 7, number 7 meant it had 7 protons in the nucleus, in that inner part, that tiny little part here, and 7 electrons in the electron cloud. And we hinted at how we figured out where those electrons were going to be. We also learned in our notes, I'm going to leave this space blank. Oh, actually the charge, we learned that the protons are positive, the neutrons are neutral, and the electrons are negative. And then for the number of neutrons, we learned that it varies. It depends from one atom to the next. We also learned that the mass number was equal to the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. The P with a plus indicates protons because protons are positively charged. The N with a 0 indicates neutrons. And we found out that the most common type of atom is equal to the atomic weight. You take the atomic weight and you round it to the nearest whole number. And that was the information that we covered over the last few video notes. I hope this helps in understanding the structure of the atom. An inside part called the nucleus and an outside part called the electron cloud. Inside the nucleus are protons and neutrons, and in the electron cloud are electrons.